A growing number of educators are realizing just how important mental health is to students' academic success. Recent studies show that too many of our students are suffering from mental health issues that are keeping them out of the classroom and limiting their potential to achieve success in life. Suicide rates are increasing fastest among children between the ages of 17 and as young as 10 years old. A New Jersey state agency recently documented 84 deaths by suicide over a 2-year period for this young age group. During the same 2-year period, more than 2,700 young people between the ages of 10 and 24 were treated in New Jersey hospital emergency rooms for attempted suicides or self-inflicted injuries. It's important that districts make a long-term commitment to educating the whole child while caring about the emotional health of their students.
Social emotional learning, mental health, trauma, they're inextricably connected to each other, right? So if students are coming to the table with struggles or difficulties or challenges, we can't just address those in isolation or in a vacuum. So social emotional learning sets a foundation, but it also addresses the trauma component, the toxic stress of students, and how that leads to mental health concerns for our students and how those mental health issues are playing out in the classroom, in the hallways, and in the entire school community.
Really a sharp point for us is when we had a tragedy of student suicides. And in that, in working and addressing that for the prevention, intervention, and postvention, we have really taken a step back to take a look at how we can help students before they are even at that critical point. And what can we do as a school district?
Our school district embarked on a focused conversation around mental health and suicidal ideations and social emotional learning and the development of the whole child. And that came as a result of some difficult student circumstances in prior years. And quite frankly, those circumstances continue to exist where we have had students with mental health challenges.
Mental health affects everyone.
Your zip code doesn't keep you safe, right? It's everywhere our children are affected, and therefore we need awareness. Now, the interventions are different, depending upon where you go. But every school district is going to be touched by some type of tragedy, and probably some type of tragedy involving mental health. So we need to be aware, pay attention. There's things we can do.
Understanding the need for action, NJSBA decided to form the Task Force on Mental Health Services in the public schools.
We appointed a task force to study the impact of effective mental health services and early intervention strategies on student health and wellness, as well as their physical safety. Over the past year, the task force learned a great deal about the challenge confronting our schools.
NJSBA officials found that wherever they went, school officials were discussing the issue.
One of the surprises of the association was how much we were overwhelmed by the participation of all the people that were really enthusiastic about helping to put this task force together and to give us all the information. It was really overwhelming.
The task force found the following statistics alarming. 16% of students have seriously considered suicide. 12% of children and 25% of teens are contending with diagnosable anxiety disorders. 20% of students between the ages of 13 and 18 live with a mental health disorder. 50% of youth ages 15 through 18 who have mental illness did not receive mental health services in the previous year. While statistics are sobering, some districts have been recognized for their leadership in addressing the issue. The Bloomfield School District was given an award by the Sandy Hook Promise Organization for their efforts in addressing school climate and culture.
The thing that made Bloomfield special, I believe, and probably why we were the recipients of the award, is that we embraced it K-12.
The school district in Ocean City established a wellness room to create a better school culture.
We are now starting our third year with this center, and has had a significant impact that we have seen in our data. The amount of students missing class time to go sit in the nurses because of that anxiety, we've been able to help them breathe, be okay, de-stress, go back to class. So that has cut missing time from class, which is critically important.
The results were positive.
We have also seen about 38% drop in the number of students on home instruction because of school anxiety.
In the district of Asbury Park, social emotional needs of the students and staff were addressed through mindfulness practices such as yoga. In the district of West Windsor, Plainsboro, professional development took center stage.
As a school district, we've focused on the social emotional learning of our students and our staff. We've made a commitment through our strategic goals to have social emotional learning as one of the aspects. But as we've stepped into the work, we've recognized that we needed to make sure that we're focusing on the self-care and social emotional learning for our staff as well.
A small district like Highbridge has found unique ways of addressing this issue, such as having students read to a service dog. They were also the first district in the state to join the Wingman program, in which older students mentor younger students. One of the most important roles in a district is that of the Board of Education.
I thought School Board's task force is really the organization that should be doing this, because it is the school boards that are making these decisions when it comes to staffing, comes to budgeting, comes to strategic planning, comes to where are we going to place our precious resources, what are we going to stand behind.
In any organization, the healthier the leadership is, the healthier the organization is. So we love it when school boards or superintendents and leadership teams say, we need to know more about this, we need to support this more. It won't take away from education, it enhances education.
With that has come training, with that has come strategic planning teams and strategic goals, professional development for our staff, parent programming. It also has come with looking at policies and procedures. And I give our board tremendous credit for placing a value on social emotional learning.
Besides identifying the problem and finding successful best practices, the report identifies recommendations on how to get started.
I think what they're going to get out of the task force report is better and closer information on what direction to go. So the task force has brought up a lot of different mental health issues that a lot of districts don't even have to deal with or don't know about. So I think the meat of it all is, here's all the problems and here's some good ways to solve those problems.
We also focused on the importance of crisis prevention, professional development, planning, and team building for students and staff.
As they move forward, school board members may want to consider the following steps. Conduct a confidential emotional climate survey to gather data on students' emotional health. Explore what neighboring districts are doing. Start small. Build consensus with other community groups and leaders. Consider your most immediate needs. Formulate an action plan which includes how to fund it. Inaction is not an option.
I think the message from the task force is so important for all school districts to learn about and to do and to take note. I happened to say at one of the meetings that it really is building a foundation for hope, and that's what we're in. We're in the hope business. We are. And so I think by having rooms such as the wellness room, having programs, we're enabling our students to have that hope that they are going to be able to do whatever they want. And that potential is incredible.